Oh, it's so cute. Little baby Dory. Oh, so cute. Oh. Stop it. Stop it. You need to be critical about this. You need to think about this logically and with sound mind. You can't be distracted by, oh my god, are those otters? Oh my god, that is so cute. Oh, that is so cute. Stop it. Stop it. Just focus. Focus. You need to be critical about this. You need to look at this with the full capacity of your brain. Oh my god, are those otters in a cuddle pile? Otters in a cuddle pile! Hello and welcome back to another midnight showing. As always, I'm Kelly, and I just got out of Finding Dory. A really hard one to judge. This isn't that hard of a movie to really look at. You could go to this movie and find a lot of enjoyment. I don't want to make it sound like it's like the worst sequel Pixar's ever put out, because I'm pretty sure we all know that Cars and Planes and everything that comes from that series is the worst thing they've ever put out. But it's just, this movie is highly unnecessary. And when I say highly, I mean extremely highly unnecessary. The first one was a perfectly good, adequate, standalone film. This one is essentially the same exact film, just they have to find Dory this time instead of finding Nemo. And the movie even starts out like the exact same as the last movie, to the point where they literally say, "Here we go again," like 3 times. And it's about 40 minutes in when it starts to do something different, but that's only because they basically remove Nemo and Marlin from the movie until the final climax. And they still basically do nothing. It's, from a critical perspective, this is a very pointless sequel that cute panders so goddamn much. I mean, just there's so much cute on display here just to keep you entertained, keep your kids looking at it. Yeah, literally baby Dory with her big old bubbly eyes. Oh, it's so cute. The otters, they acknowledge that that's all they're doing in the final climax of the movie, and that's basically the whole movie in a nutshell. I know that I didn't say any kind of spoiler warning or anything like that like I normally do, but really, if you want the synopsis, just go watch the first movie. It's just quite a bit less of the, hammered in message. There's a lot of good in this movie. I'm not going to say it's horrible. So before I actually go into talking about the spoilers, I would just like to say that my final verdict on this one, if you don't want any spoilers, is that it's worth seeing at a discounted price. I would not pay full price to see this movie, mostly because there's really nothing new here. It's all done before, and the only reason why the sequel exists is because Ellen DeGeneres has some very rabid fans. And when I say rabid, I mean really rabid fans. They're the ones that really push Pixar to do this one. So, yeah, my final verdict, see it at a discount price. For those who want some spoilers, basically the plot of the movie is Dory starts remembering that she has a family. In fact, the only reason why she forgot about her family in the first place, because she was on an endless mission to try to find them after she gets lost, was basically to she forgot about them because she ran into Marlin in the first movie, and that distraction basically carried her off. And then when her memory starts to improve by being with them, ta-da! So yeah, she remembers again, and she needs to go and find her family. So Marlin contacts Crush to put them on a current that'll take them all the way from Australia to California. Yeah, the first sign that a sequel is bad is when it has an exotic location, another country's location, and their first idea is to put it inside of California. Yeah, it happens to a lot of movies and television shows. Speaking of which, how is Torchwood doing? I would just like to point that out. Oh yeah, they got canceled because of how stupid that last season was. Just saying. So, people are, if you are a fan of Torchwood, I'm not. I will bash it. I'm not a particular fan of it, just FYI. So, yeah, they go to California, where they go to basically their equivalent of SeaWorld. The marine study school. It's SeaWorld. It's SeaWorld. And that's where Dory is from, apparently. And it's about that moment in the movie where they get split up, and Marlin and Nemo are doing some small side antics that account to like 2 or 3 scenes. Granted, the scene with them and the seals, oh my fucking god, that was hilarious. I've actually been on one of those California tours and I've seen those seals. That's how they fucking act. It was crazy. It was awesome. And then Dory basically gets stuck inside of this place, inside of a building called Quarantine, because she needs to be saved. We're pro-fish in this movie. Woo! Okay, admittedly, that's not as annoying as, say, forcibly being LGBT or forcibly being feminist or anything like that you see in other productions. Look, if you're legitimately that, fine, more power to you. But you can tell when it's just forced and crammed into these movies for the sake of just being there. Case in point, the new Ghostbusters movie. But let's not get into that. That's for next week. No, 2 weeks. Whatever. It's for later this month. So basically she's in quarantine where she meets Hank, who is by far the best part of this movie. Cynical dumbass. In which I would just like to point out, I noticed that every single one of the fish that Dory meets inside of this place is voiced by someone from Modern Family. Hank is voiced by that older guy. What's his name? I have his name. Ed O'Neill. They meet another guy, freaking, whatchamacallit, whale dolphin thing. He uses sonar, which the way they depict it doesn't work. He's voiced by Ty Burrell, the main guy from Modern Family. And then they meet another whale who is a former friend of Dory's, who's voiced by Ty Burrell's wife inside of Modern Family. Again, is this a Modern Family reunion? Why were they picked over all the other voice actors? I mean, don't get me wrong, I understand having celebrities inside of there, but where's Sofia Vergara's very, very racist depiction of a fish? I really want to see that. If you're going to go this way, why not? I'm just saying. But Hank inside this movie is by far the best part. And he's a cynical, just lazy squid. Well, not squid, octopus, who just wants to be put in a glass box and left alone for the rest of his life. But he's actually one of those display fish. Oh, we're going to release him back into the wild because he's all nurtured and happy. The fish doesn't want to go that way. He wants to go to Cleveland, to their second site, where they just put him in a glass box and they study him from outside, and he can just sit there and do absolutely nothing. He is hilarious in this film. Mostly because it's hard to explain. He feels like he doesn't want to be in this movie, yet he has to be. And it plays into his cynicism and his sarcastic nature. He just doesn't want to be here. And the octopus himself, just animation-wise, is beautiful. The animation in this movie is Pixar's highest quality, but especially with this octopus, everything on him moves. Every single one of his tentacles, every single little sucker on him is just so well animated. And when he is legitimately moving around in some of these chase sequences that they end up doing, it is legitimately just mind-blowingly good. He is the best part of this movie, and he is the reason why I give it a see at a discount price and not just wait till Redbox, because he is worth seeing in theaters. He is the reason why I give it a higher recommendation than I normally would for a movie like this, because he is just mind-blowing. He will blow your mind. He is what you want to see in this movie by far, and the conversations that he and Dory have back and forth make up most of the movie. Most of the comedy in the movie comes between the two of them, especially when they start realizing that Dory can actually remember. She just can't actively remember, which is one of the little twists. She keeps bringing up factoids and things that she's seen around, but she doesn't really understand how she's remembering them. She only seems to remember them when she's agitated, which is one of the reasons why she can only remember her family in certain situations. Things keep sparking memories to come back, even though they're not necessarily coming back in order. Yeah, it's kind of weird like that. Almost like they want to show that she's healing, almost. It's weird. But the way they depict that, especially when she has a panic attack later inside the movie, is just, yeah. They are the reason for this movie. Marlin and Nemo, not so much. Their antics outside of the whale, or outside the seal stuff, are rather stupid, pointless, and they just go on forever. And yeah, the basic plot of this movie is that they're gonna find the parents. They actually do acknowledge that the parents could have died, though. In fact, they actually believe that the parents are dead at one point, which, kudos. Disney, thank you for acknowledging that this couldn't always have a happy ending. I'm happy that they're willing to do that. But again, this movie just feels pointless. It has very, very good moments, but every few minutes you cut back to Baby Dory with her cute, bubbly eyes. Or the otters that just pop up out of nowhere, and they have a cuddle pile to distract drivers that are going 70 plus on a highway. I don't think that's how it works, but it looks cute. Yay! And there's just so much of that in the movie, and it's distracting from what could have been a decent sequel if they had, cut superfluous stuff out. Like, I don't think Marlin and Nemo really have a point in this movie. I think it would have been better if Dory were just on her own. Not to say that she lost them or forgot about them, but that they're just doing their own thing, and I decided to take a small vacation. That kind of thing. They do acknowledge that there is kind of a more than love relationship between Marlin and Dory in the movie, and that comes up very big in the last third. But again, for a good hour of this movie, they're nowhere near each other, and you barely see Marlin or Nemo. Barely. Their stuff is, very, very limited. So, yeah, my personal feeling on the movie is just, there was a lot of good in it, but I couldn't shake the feeling of pointlessness. And once you get past the cute pandering, what are you left with? You're left with a sequel that basically does the exact same thing as the first movie with a couple of different characters, which is fine, and some of their antics were hilarious. It just feels pointless. That's really the best way I can put it. It feels so pointless, especially from Pixar. My number one movie, shameless plug to my best movies of last year list that's on my channel, my number one pick was Inside Out. Pixar, you need to make that. If you were to compare Inside Out and this, it's not even a contest. Inside Out is so much better than this. And it's actually quite a bit funnier and deals with the depression and panic attack stuff a lot more solidly than Dory does. It's just, it doesn't really... Pixar, I realize that your next 5 years are nothing but sequels, but could you at least make them good? I mean, I know that Toy Story 4 is next year, which has me really worried that you're going to kind of tarnish the name of Toy Story, being that Toy Story is almost universally considered the best animated CGI films ever created, the 3 trilogy. I'm just saying, I don't want to see you tarnish something like that by forcibly putting out a sequel because of a Disney mandate. God, we all know that Cars 3 is going to suck, because all of your Cars movies suck. your planes, your cars, your obvious toy shell out crap. Yeah, it sucks. I did not want to see one movie revolved around that stupid Chevron commercial, let alone 4 or 5, and we're getting yet another one. The only real sequel of yours that I'm looking forward to is The Incredibles, which, let's be frank, you should have made a sequel to that a long time ago. Yeah, Pixar, I want to see more of the original from you, is what I'm saying. You do good with original and the occasional sequel, but not when you have a string of nothing but sequels. Do you see what I'm saying? So, yeah, I know I've gotten off the topic of Finding Dory, but I think that problem kind of ties into the whole my thoughts on Finding Dory, is that it doesn't feel necessary. They took a standalone movie and they forced it into a sequel so they could shell out more money. That's basically it. They just wanted us to say, give us your money. And although this was very high quality, and compared to a lot of the sequels that do that, especially comedy sequels, right along too, yeah, this is something I'd much rather see. Which is why my final recommendation, as said before, is see it at a discounted price. It's not worth paying full admission for it, but honestly, go see it as discount price. Your kids are going to love it. You'll probably like a lot of the jokes inside of it. And hell, we actually did get closure on what happened to those fish from the last movie. You know, the Willem Dafoe group with Flo and all of that. Yeah, they actually pop up at the end credits of the movie. So stay for the end credits. Again, that was probably one of the funnier parts of the movie. And I'm really glad I stayed for it. But, yeah. So that's it for me. Did you enjoy the video? Have you seen Finding Dory? Tell me what you thought about it in the comments below, and maybe we'll get some healthy discussion going. And as always, if you like what you see, be sure to hit the like button, the subscribe button, and share this video with your friends. Trust me, that sharing helps more than even subscribing and liking does, just saying. And then be sure to like me on Facebook, follow me on Twitch and Twitter. And yeah, that's it for me, so I'll see you all next time.